how's it going?
Alrighty. How are you?
Okay, getting by. Our sales are a little bit better. Etsy's still looking promising. Happy about that. So
You've been listing more on Etsy?
Compared to what we first did, yes. We still, I'm not sure. It's been a few days. We haven't gotten to the point where we are with eBay where we list things every single day on there. Hopefully, get a couple more things up. I know there's a couple drafts, but even just the small increases has helped. And I think, like I said, I don't know how their algorithm works, but I think that as you make more sales and get reviews and stuff, I think that boosts it. So we made a sale on there yesterday, I think it was. We took an offer on something, so that had been sitting there for a while, so I'm glad about that. eBay, we are doing the 3 listing a day thing for July, and we haven't, we did sell something today. Yep. It slowed down that early part of the week. It's Wednesday when we're recording this, so that first part
Monday,
of the week,
Tuesday, Wednesday, it could be like, and then as soon as Thursday hit, where people are getting their paychecks, it's like,
hopefully,
cool.
Hopefully. So hopefully that'll start popping up. We're getting close. I told you after we did the garage sale that our number of active listings was quite a bit lower. So we're creeping back up to that 300 mark. So hopefully once we crest that and keep going up, then we'll see that pick up again. Plus, we're in midsummer now, so back to school will be coming soon, followed by holiday season already. So how's yours?
It's pretty darn well. So I've had 4 days in a row now where it's more than $50 worth of sales.
Awesome. That's really
between eBay and Mercari.
So doing the Mercari a lot with the cards?
Yeah, Mercari I list every day because that's something I can just bust right out and take my pictures. I don't even have to do it right then. And I can just get it done whenever I want to throughout the day. And I'll post like 2 or 3 cards. And then eBay, because it does take a little bit more editing, because when you list on eBay, it doesn't automatically go, oh, you should use the eBay standard envelope. You gotta finick with it a little bit more. If I do post other trading cards, I'll post those on eBay. But between the two, more sales,
more better.
More better. So.
More sales, more better. Should be our tagline. Anyway, I was wondering, so talking about eBay, have you looked into the eBay store at all? So I don't have a storefront at this time, and my cousin, who's been a reseller for a long time, does have a store, and she thinks that, and she may be watching this, but she thinks that it is worth it. And I was wondering, do you have an opinion on this? Have you ever thought about doing it? We've talked about it, and we need to do a little more research, but...
So I've barely looked into it. Maybe a couple videos early on, and I said, that would be neat. I'm not there yet. And I just put it off to the side. I do know I've got a friend who does have an eBay store. It costs him like $20 or $25 a month, which is a really good price line. And then I can't remember how many extra listings he gets, but it was a really good amount. And he does strictly eBay.
Okay.
And he will list like 10 items every day.
Okay.
So if you use those free listings, you go through all of those, you're done. He's like, yeah, it's just worth it to pay that extra $25 a day. And
I'm wondering if maybe, so obviously anytime there's an extra fee, like it requires more consideration on my part. But I'm wondering if we might be getting close to that point with our listings because of renewing listing, or like because of listings that are self-renewing, and also because of listings we're adding.
Yeah.
If we might end up needing, like rubbing up against that 250 limit to every month, to where we might need to pay for listings anyway, that would make that more, make it make more sense, I guess.
Yeah, because with those refreshing ones, it
sucks up a lot. Yeah, I think we have maybe, we're not even a mid-month yet, technically. And we have maybe 100 and some left that we can do, just based on the listings that we've done. So like I said, we've done about 3 listings a day, and then plus anything that's renewing itself. And there might have been a couple left over from when we had our garage sale that I relisted too. I
Yeah.
can't remember if that was this month or if that was end of last month. But anyway, so we might be right on the edge there where we're going to have to start paying for listings anyway.
Yeah, and if you're going to be paying for individual ones, I would say it's probably just more worth it. Because isn't the fee like 20 cents per item?
I don't know, something like that.
I can't remember. I've seen the number before, and I went, ooh, this sucks, because it does.
That's what gave me pause on Etsy too, was because you have to pay the 20 cents up front for each listing. But once we started making sales, I was like, we're making that money back anyway.
Yeah.
And it was way easier to gain traction and all this other stuff.
I think with the difference though, with
and
eBay,
lower overall fees on Etsy.
Yeah. But with eBay, like you said, it's all those renewal. And if you're already reached your max for the month anyway, you're going to be paying that extra 25
Yeah, so people who are listing
everything.
10 a day,
yeah,
that does make a lot of sense that they would hit that really quick before the end of the month.
Yeah.
Every month. But the other thing, so there's a couple other things that, from what I understand, and we're just talking basic plan here, not the absolute, but I think the one that's called basic. I know there's much higher tiers.
Yeah.
I'm not anywhere near in the ballpark for any of those.
You're not doing like $500,000 in
I
sales
wish
every
that
year?
would be so nice. I might have to up the average price of our product if we're going to be doing that. But pallets of antiques. There you go. Just like wrap them up, pick them up, and drop them off. That would be hilarious. I mean, that'd be weird. I don't know if anyone's even doing that aside from like bulk estate sales, yeah, or something like that. People who buy whole estates, but I think there's a couple other benefits. So I think if I remember correctly, in the basic one, the $25 a month or whatever it is, once every quarter you get like $20 or something to spend in the eBay shipping store. So boxes and bubble wrap and that kind of stuff, supplies. I think it's $20, something like that. You get a credit anyway every quarter. And then a couple other things I thought were interesting. I believe when you have a store, you can run sales.
Oh, is that how that works?
Like full site promotions.
I've seen when people are like, oh, this is on sale, and it shows you like their percentage off.
Or
sale.
like if you want a 4th of July sale, or
you
could. I think that's what triggers it. I think you're allowed to do that when you have a store.
Okay, that would be cool.
And then there was one other thing. What was that I thought was really interesting? What is that? Oh, my cousin was telling me that with the store, you can go, I can't remember the name of the thing. If you know the name of the thing, pop it in the comments below. If you're my cousin who is telling me about this, you know the name of the thing, and pop it in the comments below. But anyway, what it is you can actually go in. You know how when you're checking eBay comps, you can't see it if they took a best offer, buy it now, if they took a best offer?
Yeah.
Apparently, when you have a store, there's some system you can go into, and you can actually see what they paid.
Oh, that'd be so nice. Because I know there are like WorthPoint and other websites where they will show you that, but that's also behind a paywall. And and I'd rather not be throwing my money at another website. Like if I could go, here's $50 to eBay every month, and that information is. And that's what my cousin was saying.
She had bought a WorthPoint account here and there, like to look up stuff. I know she was doing like postcards and stuff like that, but with the eBay, you can get into this system and actually see what people do. So that's like it's an
extra gravy.
Yeah, that's an interesting proposition. So it would be really interesting to do the math on it, because if you get a quarter, let's say it is $20. I wish I could remember exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't pull it. I should have pulled it up before I asked you about this. But if let's say it's $20 a quarter, that's like almost having like a month free, basically.
Yeah.
And you could buy specialty packing items or a weird box or something, because we all have that one weird thing that is really hard to ship. So that would be that would really reduce your costs every quarter.
Yeah, I mean, plus overall it's a write-off because
it is
for your business. It's an expense. It's a subscription service, so
and it's month to month. So I think you can stop whenever you want. So you could gamble $100 and do it for a whole quarter and see if it works out, and then just quit if you don't like it.
Yeah.
which is really interesting. So maybe we'll try it. I haven't talked to Hannah about it again.
At the same time, if you do monthly, does that come directly out of your eBay funds, or does it come?
I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
That would be a question for the eBay. And I also don't know if there's a discount if you like sign up for more than, how most things have like a multi-month discount. Yeah. I don't know. I want to say that maybe there is, but it's nice to have the monthly option anyway, especially if you're like on the fence about it. So anyway, that might be something I've talked to Hannah recently, and I was like, we need to really look into that again and see if we think the benefits are going to outweigh, especially because now that we're pretty much committed to doing this for the foreseeable future and we want to grow. So I was wondering if maybe a store would be the way to do it. So if you have a store and you love it, put it below. If you tried the store and you thought want put that in their comments too. We'd love to hear other people's opinions on this. We know a person who does use the store, so definitely there's some people who feel they're getting value out of that, and it's just a matter of determining whether or not we would or any of you would.
I think overall I should definitely look into it, because
how close are you to that 250?
I'm at like 160 something already.
Okay. So you're good like us. You're like right on that edge.
I was looking at it earlier and I was like, no, because like, I try to do at least, 2-3 items a day just on eBay, more if I can, especially on those days where it's like, yes, I'm not doing anything tonight, and I'll go and I'll list 5 or 10 items, but watching all my free listings just tick away. I'm like, and like I said, last month I got it all the way down to 20. And when you're busting through and getting a whole bunch listed all at once,
we might both be like needing to consider that sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Which would be interesting. So we'll report back if one or both of us end up getting the store portion, because like I said, it does have some interesting features. It might be fun to run holiday sales. Especially if you have a lot of stuff that's just kind of sitting. And I don't know how specialized you can get in the sales or not.
Let's say an end of summer sale.
Oh, clear out.
Yeah, like you do 15% off everything.
I'm wondering if you can do promotions by category too. That would be really interesting.
Yeah.
We should look into that.
Or even if you could just scroll through and go click, 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 click. And, or even do it like everything listed originally past, July of 2014 or whatever. I don't know why I said 2014, 2023. All my stuff for last year, and just put all that stuff on clearance. That
Try to get it out. Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of different ways that it would be interesting to do that. You could do after holiday, clear out your holiday stuff or your summer stuff. So it would be worth looking into. You don't use the mobile app a lot when you're listing, right? You mainly do not a ton, once in a while, yeah. So they've been doing updates, and they did this update. I'm really like, why did they do that? Whenever you go to your active listings on your phone, it used to be you could see your normal all listings, and then you scroll over a little bit, you can show all the buy it nows. You can do your auctions, you can do your drafts, you can do your scheduled ones. And now you have to actually click like 3 other buttons to choose each option for that. And I'm like, why did they get rid of the simplistic, already functioning design? The story of tech. Yeah, and I feel eBay keeps doing that, and it's very frustrating when it's like, that was a great function. And it's gone. Perfect. And now it's not there in such an easy, quick to maneuver way. Well, and speaking of updates on eBay, did you see that they have a new advertising thing? I saw it. I clicked on it, and then it made me want to, it was like, you have to log in to see this. Because it was just popped up on my phone. And I was like, I already am logged into eBay. And then I never went back. I just saw the notification, but I wasn't actually able to see what it was talking about. On my listings on the computer, at the end where you normally would select the promoted, there's a second line for advertising now. Oh. And you can set an advertising budget per day. I have not tried it yet, so I don't know if it's actually worth the money. But it's on top of the promoted listings. So it looked like you could do both a promoted listing and an advertisement.
I
But
wonder,
it places like actual ads
Yeah,
rather than your ranking.
I wonder if that would be good for like if you had a large quantity of an item,
Maybe.
or like if you were selling a lot of brand new items.
Or maybe something that's really high value
Mm-hmm.
that would take longer to find the actual. I don't know. It'd be interesting to like, I don't know, gamble a couple bucks and see if one see if it sells really fast, or pull something that's maybe older and throw an ad on it and see if it sells.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just wondering if you'd seen that because that popped up in the last week or so probably.
Yeah, I think it was yesterday, and I hit the notification because I'm like, it said new opportunities are available or something, and then I was just like, you have to log into eBay. I'm like, I am logged into eBay, and then I just couldn't find what it was
talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it shows up on the actual app listings. Like when you're going to list, I'm not sure where that line is in that, but I would be interested, like, I don't, again, it's like another decision you have to make. And I don't know, for some items, it might make more sense to do advertising versus promoted listing, but I have no idea how you would figure that out.
Do you have the option to do both?
I think so. I'm not positive, but I think
I wonder if, like, promoting is in sight.
I think it has to do with ranking or something, promoted listing.
Yeah. And then, because I thought it was, when you promote, it's also like search results. So let's say you went to Google, you punched in, you're looking for an Armani handbag or whatever. If you're selling an Armani handbag, you're promoting it. That might show up in the suggested tab up at the top.
You know what the advertising might be? It might be more targeted.
That could
so
be.
People who have bought similar items to what you're selling, maybe it shows them to them specifically or something.
Or like banner advertisements.
I don't know. I'll admit I'm not a big eBay buyer. I bought something out there this last year, but that's like, I'm not a big eBay buyer, so I don't actually know a lot about how those things work.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's interesting. So if you hear anything more about that, let me know, because I would be interested to see if you hear anything or if you read anything that's interesting on that. I don't even know how you would like compare the results exactly, except for if you just threw an ad on there and it sold immediately.
The only thing I could think of is if you had the same item
and you did both.
Yeah, and you just did. All right,
Somebody run that test. We need to know.
I'm gonna run this item for 2 weeks with just promoted. I'm gonna run this item 2 weeks, just the advertisement, and then run this item 2 weeks.
We need an experiment
with both of them.
We need to get like some sort of duplicates to try experimenting on. That would be really interesting.
Yeah.
But you're right. You'd have to have a 1-to-1 kind of comparison, and it would need to be the same seller. Huh. Well, if you ever get anything duplicate, try it.
Sometimes I do, and sometimes I get new stuff. Actually, a reasonable location for looking for inventory that would work for that would be like an auction site.
Or you can get like bundles of things.
Where you can get like liquidation items.
You're into that, aren't you?
A little bit. I've done some.
Are there any updates on your buying a unit? Storage unit?
I'm not there.
No.
Like I could. I have the funds to I could. But I realized recently I'm still going through so much of just stuff I've already got, and I'm like, yeah, I need to just keep plugging away at this.
What's the average entry point for a storage unit?
So one guy I was talking with, he was a FedEx driver at my work, so he drove one of the big trucks. And he got talking about it all the time. There's a website, I can't remember what it is. I've got it bookmarked, but it shows all the local storage area units in the area.
There are a lot of them.
And it will tell you which ones are having auctions, which ones are having in-person auctions, which ones are having just online. He's like, yeah, I get a lot of my units for $20 to $40.
No way.
You have to put a deposit down, and then that deposit is like $100. But when you go, yep, I'm going to clear out the unit. Here's my truck.
So do you put a deposit down at the time of purchase?
Yes.
As like a good faith, hey, I'm not actually going to clean it out?
Yes.
So they aren't stuck with the stuff twice?
Yeah. So you put your deposit down plus the auction.
Okay.
And like it just, if you win it, let's say you win it for $25, you'll be charged $125, and then when you show up and go, give me the keys, please, you'll get your $100 back. And once you clear out the unit, so it's like totally worth it. He said that one day he paid $30 for a unit, showed up, it had 3 mattresses inside. He just, as he's unloading them, he went picture, 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 single pictures of each mattress, threw them all on Facebook, sold every single one of them before the weekend was even over.
A mattress?
Mm-hmm.
No way.
$40 a mattress.
There's that big of a market.
Apparently.
For secondhand mattresses.
Apparently.
See, I would have passed on
right,
that.
right.
I'm not doing mattresses.
And then,
also, they're unwieldy and hard to store.
He also got like all the other stuff in the unit, but he already knew because he sold mattresses before and couches and stuff.
So he knew that value was there.
Yeah, and one of the things he got in it was a I'm gonna butcher this. It's these stilts for house painting, or like, let's say you have a room that's got 10
scary
foot
and dangerous.
Yeah,
okay.
like that's got like 10-foot ceilings. You can have these stilts, and they're these really long stilts that you stand on. He sold that. He got that from that same unit that he paid $30 for, and it sold on eBay for like $1,200.
Holy frick!
Yeah, and so it's just like he loves doing it.
It's a little treasure hunting.
It's a little treasure hunting. But he's like, honestly, I'm earning more money doing this in my own time on the weekends than I am working as a FedEx truck driver.
That's crazy and kind of sad.
Mm-hmm. And so I was just like, yeah, I definitely need to look into this. But at the same time, I don't have enough time to get rid of all the stuff I've got right now.
So would you want to do online or just in person? In person seems more intimidating.
In person
but
seems
you can
a
see
lot
it
more.
better.
I would try to do online first.
Yeah.
Just because I'm more willing to go, yes, that's got like 5 storage totes in it. I could throw $40 at it. Because even if I get into it and every tote is like, wow, that's literal garbage in those totes.
Yeah, $5 a tote at least.
Yeah, I'm not gonna cry because I have some storage totes that I got, and it'd be the equivalent if I went and bought them at Home Depot.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, he said, like, there have been times where he will get 3 storage units all at the same location, all on the same weekend, and so it will be like $30 for one unit, $50 for another, $40 for another.
You have the total of all of them.
Yeah, and then he just goes, and that's what he's doing all weekend. He's clearing out, and anything he doesn't want to deal with goes to Goodwill.
That makes sense.
Anything he does want to deal with goes into another pile. And he said, when you do that too, sometimes you can show up and go, I want to rent the unit for a month. They'll give you a deal. You can actually get the unit for 2 months for the price of one. And he'll just take everything that he wants to deal with and put it all in one unit. So
you'd be really slick if you already had a storage unit for your business in the complex and you were just buying other units and moving your contents from one to the next one. Yeah. You know someone out there is doing that.
Oh, guaranteed.
You know what's happening.
The fact that a lot of distribution companies, for example, like Frito-Lay,
mm-hmm.
they will get storage units. And instead of having a warehouse where they will take all of their chips and dump it, they will just take an allotment of a week's worth of supply, drop it off in storage units.
No.
Mm-hmm. So if
is weird.
If big companies like that are doing that, then you know that other people are just going and going, yep, I want this storage unit, and this is my workshop storage unit.
Just move across the aisle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would be interesting. When I first got into this, that's not where I was initially headed, but it would be interesting, even just like one time. It's like when people order like pallets, like overstock pallets and stuff. Like the sort of like, what are you gonna get? Piece of that does appeal to me.
See, but I'm concerned with those too, though, because of the price entry where
yeah,
it's
like over $1,000.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't want to spend $1,000 on something and then be like, toothpaste.
Yeah, 500 too.
or something else where it's just like, man, this stuff could be worth money, but
some of those I think are more descriptive than others. Like some of them they'll show you or tell you what roughly is in it. But yeah. But no, it would be interesting, the storage unit thing. I'm sure you find a lot of weird crap and sometimes some really good stuff. And it boggles my mind because I've never had a storage unit, but I can't imagine just like leaving it and not going back for anything.
Right.
Like, even if I knew I couldn't pay, like I feel like I would at least go and take the stuff I wanted the most. I could see leaving the furniture if you had nowhere to move it. But
yeah, I've had a storage unit, and yeah, I couldn't even imagine being like, I'm gonna leave the garbage in there I don't want to deal with because they're gonna fine you.
Oh yeah.
Especially
if you have a card or something in file.
Yeah, but I think a big part of why people's storage units go to the wayside is their card on file no longer is applicable anymore.
Even still, I wouldn't want to lose my stuff, or I would just tell my friends, like, "Hey, I can't do anything with it. Time's up. Come and just take what you want." Like, I would just do something like that. I can't imagine just like letting it go to the company, but different strokes for different folks, and people have different situations, I guess, that come up. But like, some makes sense. Like sometimes people pass away or whatever, but yeah, some people just totally leave it, gone, disappears.
It would be interesting, and it's still on the table of sometime in the next few months, maybe.
I want to know if you end up doing it.
Yeah, I mean, if I do, I'll talk all about it. It will be interesting. Be like, I burned $50 on a storage unit and got nothing, or.
Hopefully that won't be the case.
I don't know. The guy I was talking with, he was like, every time he can at least make whatever money that he invested in.
I think the key, it's like any auction, do not get out of control. So like, some people get this auction frenzy and they just keep hitting more and more, and until it's like spiraled into this crazy number.
Yep.
And this online based auction that both of us have shopped at before, you see that happen sometimes, and you're like, I would never pay that.
Right.
And you just see something like climb. And I think it's the same thing with the storage unit. It's like, you cannot let that frenzy like take over. You have to be like, this is my max. Like, I have got to stop.
And it helps that when it comes to sourcing, especially if you're getting something from an storage unit, if you're just looking at the pictures, unless you can see like that piece of furniture or that, like pinball machine or who knows what, you're going in blind, and so it is gambling. So take however much you are willing to gamble, probably cut that down to half, and then go, that'd be reasonable to burn.
Yeah, just in case. But probably I'll get my money back. But just in case. Yeah. Interesting.
So
this conversation went all over the place. But thanks for catching up, and thanks for like weighing in on the store situation. We'll definitely have to update that because it's on my radar, and Hannah and I really do need to dig into it a little bit and see if we think it might be worth it. But if we're rubbing up against the free limit, that might be a big deciding factor. And I can't imagine more than a couple months from now that we wouldn't hit that issue unless we just all of a sudden sell half of our store and 100 things are gone. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us again this week for the Secondhand Sellers Podcast. I'm Sarah.
I'm Klayton.
Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode or any of our content. And as always, like I said, we like those comments. We want to hear your opinions, your experiences, and feedback. What we can do better or what we're doing good already. So thank you so much, and happy thrifting.
Yeah.
Bye.